Hey guys, Brad Danger here, and Toyota just quietly admitted something that should scare the living ish out of you and every single person watching the video right now. The most bulletproof, run into the ground, sell it with 200,000 miles and still get full price car company on the planet is starting to build cars that break. If Toyota cannot escape this, nobody is escaping this. Not you, not your neighbor with the lifted Tacoma, not your uncle who starts thinking owning a Camry is a personality trait. Nobody. So let's talk about why your brand new car might actually be less dependable than your dad's old beater, even though your dad's old beater sounded like it was a dying lawnmower and drank a quart of oil every time he looked at it wrong. Here's the part that really stings. This is not just some random internet complaint. Toyota, and the company that built its entire reputation on cars that refuse to die, has had its own hiccups lately. Recalls on brand new electric models, infotainment complaints piling up on redesigned trucks, owners posting videos of screens freezing and driver assist systems having what can only be described as a mental breakdown at a stoplight. This is Toyota we are talking about, the company your grandpa trusted more than his own doctor. If Toyota is catching strays, everybody is catching strays. So, like, subscribe, and here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say out loud. It's not that modern cars are badly built. The metal, the engines, the actual bones of these things last longer than they ever have. The average car on American roads right now is sitting at almost 13 years old. That number does not just happen if manufacturing quality fell off a cliff. If anything, the hardware has never been stronger. But JD Power just dropped a number that should make you spit out your energy drink. 3-year-old cars are now averaging over 200 reported problems per 100 vehicles, the worst score since they started measuring it this way. Cars that should still have that new car smell instead of having a check engine light and a personality disorder. And before you blame the engine or the transmission, here's the twist. It is actually not the engine. It is usually not the transmission. It is that giant iPad glued to your dashboard. It is the dozen cameras staring at you like a nosy neighbor through the blinds. It is a parking sensor that screams bloody murder at a plastic bag blowing across the lot. It is the door handles that are somehow electronic now because apparently pulling a handle was too much cardio for the modern human being. And let's be honest about what your car is actually now. It is not really a car anymore. It is a rolling data center with cup holders, turbocharging, direct injection, cylinder deactivation, enough emission equipment to make an actual chemist nervous, and transmissions with 8, 9, 10 gears because apparently 6 gears was for peasants. Underneath all that, you have dozens of tiny computers that all have to agree with each other before your car will ever let you leave the driveway. And here's the part that should really mess with your head. An old car could have a rough idle, cough a little smoke, and still drive you around for another 5 years without a complaint. It just did its job, badly but consistently, like a coworker who shows up late every day but somehow never actually gets fired. Okay, and real quick, here's the deal. Bigger prize, shorter timeline, you are going to love it. We already have given someone their choice of a Shelby GT350 or a Mark V Supra. Before that, we gave away a Bayside Blue flame-spitting R35 GTR. Plus, we've given away $100,000 cash. But this next giveaway beats them all. So links pinned in the first comment, go tap it, sign up, and go check out the past winners because your name could be drawn next. Now, back to the show. A modern car can still be mechanically perfect and still throw 12 warning lights and act like it's having a full-blown breakdown because one weak battery or one lazy wheel speed sensor decided to stop talking to the rest of the car. Your car is not broken. Your car is just having a bad day because two computers had an argument and neither one of them wants to apologize first. Quick game before we move on. Tell me in the comments which one has personally ruined your week. The infotainment screen that reboots at a red light like it just remembered it left the stove on, the lane keep assist that fights you for the wheel like it's auditioning for an action movie, the start-stop system that kills your engine mid-intersection to save you a teaspoon of fuel, the adaptive cruise control that slams the brakes because it spotted a plastic bag and assumed it was a small child. Every one of those sounds incredible on a spec sheet. Every one of those has also embarrassed someone in a parking lot in front of their own family. Now, before you go running to the comments to type old cars were just better, this generation ruined everything, sit down. Because we need to talk about survivorship bias, and yes, that applies to your car opinions too. You remember the legendary cars, the Camry that had 350,000 miles on it and outlived 2 marriages, the Civic your cousin drove through 3 girlfriends in 2 states without so much as an oil change, the Mercedes diesel that apparently could survive a direct asteroid strike. Those cars are burned into your brain because they refuse to die. You know what you're conveniently forgetting? The Dodge Neon that rusted out before 60,000 miles, the Cadillac with the North Star engine that ate head gaskets like a snack, the Chrysler transmission that gave up before the car left the dealership lot, the early CVTs that felt like driving a car full of angry bees in a jar. Those cars did not survive to become nostalgia bait because they were already dead and crushed into a cube somewhere outside Toledo. Sorry, Ohio. So, when you compare the best cars that survived 20 years ago to literally every single car being sold today, of course, the old stuff looks like it's chiseled out of granite by the automotive gods. You are comparing the honor roll students from 2005 to the entire graduating class of 2026. Bad haircuts, questionable decisions, and all. Now, here is where I have to turn around and roast you a little bit, because some of this mess is genuinely your fault. Yes, you, specifically you in the back. Yeah, with that broccoli head. Watching this on your phone screen more powerful than the computer that just landed people on the moon, judging a car for having too much technology. Automakers love bragging about massive service intervals and lifetime fluids. Low maintenance costs sell cars, and it looks fantastic on a brochure. What it does not do is guarantee your car survives to 250,000 miles and it has a happy life. Lifetime fluid usually means the lifetime of your loan, and right after that loan ends is exactly when things start falling apart. Almost like it was planned that way. And your driving habits are not helping either, champ. Short cold starts because you live 2 minutes from the coffee shop and refuse to walk, ignoring your transmission fluid, your differential fluid, your coolant because the manual said that you probably don't need it, and probably sounds a lot like permission. 15,000 mile oil changes on a tiny turbocharged engine that works harder than a caffeinated squirrel on a deadline, then acting shocked when it does not last as long as your grandpa's lazy, naturally aspirated 3-liter that never broke a sweat. You bought the bigger wheels, you bought the low profile tires. They look incredible in photos. They also transmit every single pothole directly into the suspension and directly into your wallet. And when a warning light pops up, how many of you glance at it and think, that's probably just a software thing, I'll deal with it later? That exact energy turns a $10 sensor problem into a $1,500 diagnostic nightmare 3 months down the road. You're also the same person who updates your car software the second a notification pops up, like it's a phone update instead of a rolling beta test on a 2-ton machine you drive at high speeds next to an actual child in a minivan. And then there's the quiet villain behind half these mystery electronic gremlins, the 12-volt battery. This unassuming little box now runs your infotainment, your sensors, your driver assist modules, your entire electronic nervous system. A battery that is only slightly weak will not stop your car from starting, it will just make your car act haunted. Random warning lights, screens glitching mid-drive, systems dropping out, all from a battery that has not technically failed yet, it just is having a rough week. And let's not pretend the repair side is innocent either. A sensor that used to cost $30 and 10 minutes in your driveway now needs a dealer scanner tool and a software calibration within an appointment 3 weeks out because the shop down the street, well, cannot even talk to your car anymore. You are not just paying for a part, you are paying for a subscription to a diagnostic ecosystem you did not know you signed up for. Now let's talk about powertrains, because this part might genuinely surprise you. Consumer Reports data shows that regular hybrids, the boring, unbothered, sipping gas 1 cup at a time hybrids, are holding up incredibly well. Fully electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids are having a noticeably rougher time overall. That does not mean electrification is the enemy. It means technology that has had years to mature is genuinely solid, while newer, flashier systems are still working out their growing pains. And you are unknowingly volunteering to be part of the experiment every time that you sign a lease. So here's my honest conclusion after a few days of research, and I already know some of you are not going to like it because you already bought the wrong car and you are mad about it. Modern cars are genuinely better in a lot of real ways. Corrosion resistance, crash safety, cold starts, engine management, and fuel economy have never been stronger. And when properly maintained, plenty of modern cars can rack up serious mileage without drama. But modern cars are worse at software stability, worse at avoiding electronic gremlins, worse at being affordable to repair when something goes wrong, and worse at surviving genuine neglect because they were never designed with neglect in mind the way that old cast iron truck engines were. We did not suddenly forget how to build cars or own them. What happened is manufacturers started cramming immature technology and unnecessary complexity into vehicles on ridiculously short development timelines because the market demands a bigger screen and a new driver assist feature every year, or the internet loses its collective mind in the comments. But let's just also kill the myth that every old car was some indestructible tank. This is nostalgia talking, not facts. Plenty of old cars were absolute garbage. We just do not talk about them anymore because they are gone. If you actually want a car that survives long term, here's the real move. Buy a mature model refined over several years, not the first model year of a total redesign. Look for a naturally aspirated engine or a genuinely proven hybrid instead of chasing the newest turbocharged toy. Stick with the conventional physical buttons instead of a car that makes you open 3 menus just to adjust your air conditioning. Choose smaller wheels with taller sidewalls, no matter how much your inner car influencer screams at you not to. And ideally, buy the final year or two of a generation right before the manufacturer scrapes the platform and starts with immature technology again. That is the real secret to buying a car for life in 2026. It was never about brand loyalty or nostalgia. It was about timing and about not being first in line to buy year one of anything. The problem was never electricity, and it was never touchscreens by themselves. The problem is rushing unfinished technology into showrooms because a rival brand announced a bigger screen first. Slow down, buy the boring, proven version of the car that you actually want, and let somebody else's warranty claim be the science experiment. So, drop a comment down below and tell me the most electronically cursed car that you have ever owned or ridden in. Phantom warning lights, screens that froze on the highway, electronic doors, handles that just gave up on life in a grocery store parking lot. I just want to hear it all. And if you learned something today, which probably just ruined your opinion of your car just a little bit, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so we can hit 2 mil by the end of the year. Like the video, check out some of these ideal vids over here. Remember to go to winthisIdealCar.com to get entered to win your dream car plus cash. And promise me one thing, keep living the ideal lifestyle.